much at work.
Well, the world doesn't know what they're missing.
I think I say hi to Dale like once or twice, if he's lucky, and then I just stop.
Motherfucking Dale. I posted in that what the fuck was it?
Oh, what the fuck
That
is
Arc Discord.
Oh, Mark, you're Walker's coming. We're coming through it. We're coming through you.
We can hear us through you.
Yes.
Echo.
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 Echo. Echo.
Echo.
I only have to work half as
Oh,
hard.
there we go. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
That would explain everything.
Yeah, I messaged him and Dale and Nate. I was like, dude, you guys are playing Arc again? No one responded. Like everyone starts playing and they stop.
Yep. Yeah, right as I fucking download it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's how Nate James feels about Fallout right now.
That is true.
I wonder if he ever got his money back.
He's really no, he didn't. We talked about it yesterday.
F.
He was like, "You
F
motherfuckers
Jack.
have to now."
Yeah, you.
I thought it would have been a good idea to play it last night, but we had the riots going on and stuff.
Guys, what you should do is I'll let you know when he works, and then you guys play it when he's at work.
We'll stream it.
Like, no, and then he gets on. He's like, "You guys want to play Fallout?" And like, "Nah, man, we already played it earlier today."
Yeah. Yeah, man, we're tired. We'll play something else. Like what?
Oh shit! I need to read it. I need to download Tabletop.
There you go.
Yo, anyone want to play Pummel Party?
That would be fucking funny. Like, sorry, bro.
So,
man.
I was telling Walker this, but I got a special drink for the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a little late to the party, but I got some White Claw.
what a
So,
bitch.
Laws,
I
you're
guess-
drinking
I
claws,
guess-
baby.
Maybe not the perfect time to be saying that, but kind of like maybe now's not the perfect time to be wearing the shirt that I'm wearing.
A white shirt.
It's the one that says "Born to Die, World is a Fuck, Kill 'Em All, 1989, 410 billion dead cops."
Yeah, that might be a little.
Maybe now is I just
little
kind of
edgy.
grabbed this. I grabbed this shirt as just an undershirt and put my Geek Squad shirt on top of it, and then I realized, fuck,
That
maybe I
was-
shouldn't be
wear
wearing
this.
this shirt. Maybe now's not the right time to be wearing this meme.
I want to see a video of some people holding up White Claws. Like, listen, cops. Like, this is the saying. Isn't that true? And then dude just gets decked in the face.
Yeah.
Like,
But
you
real
lied to
talk,
me.
though.
You lied to me, White Claw.
Real talk though, shit's fucked. That's all I'm saying on this situation.
It is wild. But I'm ready whenever you guys are, so let me know.
I am ready as well. This is a
Yeah.
short ass preamble.
Me
How
too.
long is this?
Yeah,
How long is this?
I guess so.
Okay.
This is probably the shortest preamble. It's only like 6 minutes long.
Happens
That's fine.
sometimes.
They're gonna get an hour 40-minute podcast on the Patreon.
true.
So I
That
don't
is
feel as
true.
bad.
You guys ready?
Mm.
Wordy. Word up. Okay.
Pour it
Going
out to the homies.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and
Hello.
gentlemen, to the newly branded, newly reinvented, bought out podcast last week, if you remember. The Level Unlock Bobcast. Yes, you heard it right. Last week, if you recall, you listened to the podcast, Bob Dooley O'Malley gave us a quick ring and bought us out. Didn't know it was possible, didn't know it was a thing, but he did for sure. And
I don't know how long it's
unfortunately,
gonna last though.
unfortunately, we're in some discussions, so maybe it'll change, maybe it won't. I don't know what'll happen, but yes. Anyways, welcome to Level Unlock Bobcast. You heard it right. I said Bobcast. That's the new name. Episode 70, folks. We are here 70 straight weeks, going strong, going hard.
Level Unlock Bobcast episode 1.
Oh yes. Technically we restarted. It's the Level Unlock Bobcast, not the same thing. So completely new new structure going on, and make it work. But on the positive side, because it takes a while to change all of our URLs, all those are the same. So you still can follow us everywhere at the Level Unlock Podcast, as well as thank you all for being a part of this podcast, regardless of the name change, everything like that. 5,800 strong. We appreciate you. Hopefully, we can bring a little ease to your lives in these crazy, crazy, crazy times, going from one extreme to the other. So sit back, relax, take your mind off of everything going on in the world, and enjoy. And we appreciate you being here. And if you do want to join the Lockpick Nation, the level Unlock Nation, you definitely can at patreon.com/level unlock podcast. And let's get into it. So how you guys been on this? What would be pretty crazy hectic week? Won't go into that side of it, but just a wild week. And how's everyone doing? How you hanging, left or right? But we'll find out here in a minute.
Both.
Both. I like it.
Shit.
I'm an echidna in real life.
I like it.
Outside of the camera, I'm actually an echidna.
I hate you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, James. Mark, man, let's start with you. I don't think
Bullshit.
we ever start with you. How you been,
Oh,
man? What's going on? What's new?
I wasn't ready.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
the
not
best way
too
to do it.
It's been a pretty normal week for me. I've just been trying to stay productive. One of the things that I did this week is I made a standing desk out of one of the dressers I have back here, and then
Nice.
put my laptop on it. And just
Is
been
it improving your productivity?
Not really, but
No.
I am standing more, so I guess that's a plus.
That's what I need.
Compared to just sitting like 12, 16 hours a day, which it hasn't been a bad thing yet, but long term, I just don't want it to really affect me.
I
So,
feel you
Yeah,
there.
give it a few years.
Yeah, that's my only concern. Been playing a handful of games. Let me bring up my Steam real quick. Like right before here, I've been playing some Deep Rock Galactic, which it's a great grind. It's just difficult. That's the best way to put it. Like, I've been playing it pretty much solo the entire time, and it's been pretty difficult. If you're not familiar with the game, it's a randomly generated mining simulator. It's not even really a simulator, but it's just a good old mining game, and it's randomly generated caves, and you go through and mine materials and grab shit, and you put that in your little mine cart, and once you get enough, you press a button, and then you're getting fucking attacked by little fucking they're not even spider things. They're just crawly guys, like bug shit. And it's a great time. It's a great way to waste a few hours or longer.
There you go.
But if you're interested
Infinity.
in, I would recommend taking a look into it if you're interested in space kind of resource gathering kind of games. It's definitely something I'd recommend looking into. What else have I been doing? Yeah, just working, and yeah, we'll go with that. Working and
I like it.
playing
Yeah.
space
Well,
games. Rocket
There you
League,
go.
Grand Theft Auto Online, we played that too.
Yeah,
When
we
the
have
fuck
been.
Did you guys play that?
The last couple nights.
Played it yesterday. We played it 2 or 3 nights ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the regular game.
a bunch of races. A few missions, but we got wrecked on those pretty often.
Definitely want to get a group together. That game's always fun.
Yeah, it'd be a really cool time. If you ever want to join, James.
Well, all you need to do is just shoot me the invite. I mean, I did buy a brand new keyboard just to play like GTA.
I like it.
Yeah, so we usually play pretty late. But you usually get off at that point, not gonna lie.
Yeah, usually because I have to work early.
Yeah, so we start playing around 12:30 or 1. At that point, you're
Good old fucking time zones.
it's usually when
Assholes.
Walker
Yeah, why
gets
can't-
on. Yeah.
I blame you guys. It's your fault, not mine. You guys are the masses.
Hey, you're the
So-
one that had to move.
That is true. That is true.
I don't
So
know,
Walker, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You've had the ruby grapefruit flavored White Claw, right?
Mhm. Black cherry's the best.
Yeah. So does, at least to you, does it taste like nothing, the grapefruit one? Maybe
Yeah.
like a hint of citrus?
Yeah, that one and the lemon lime one they don't taste like anything.
Okay. Yeah, because I get like a hint of citrus and that's it.
Yeah, no, those
I
two
don't
don't
see the
taste like
big
nothing.
deal.
The
I-
black
I hon-
cherry is the best.
I honestly don't see the appeal. I don't understand why this was the hottest shit last year. Or this year, whatever the fuck it was.
Not a
When
huge
was
fan
it?
of White Claw.
I think I don't know. I don't know. Was it last year or was it early this year? No, it was last year. It was last year.
Yeah, it was late last year, I think.
Yeah, it was late last year. Because it was before my brother went back to Pennsylvania and had to come back. But yeah, it was late last year. That was good old ain't no laws where you drinking the claws motto from Trevor Wallace.
Yep.
Made that
Oh
made
yeah.
that big. But yeah, no, the black cherry is the only one that I like. That's like the most popular one. The other ones are like meh.
See, I didn't want to buy like a 6-pack of this because no. But this
Oh,
is
you
the
bought
only,
you
like,
bought the big ones.
Yeah, this is the only kind that they had individually at Gecko.
Oh yeah, the black cherry. Black cherry is by far the best kind.
Sorry
Anything
about
else?
that, Mark.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Oh no, you're fine. Nothing too crazy this week. Just trying to stay sane in these weird times.
I feel you there. What about you,
Uh,
Schroeds?
yeah.
Oh, sorry if you're done. My bad. I didn't mean to
Oh
cut you
no,
off.
I was just gonna try and transition, but you did it for me. I see how it
Oh.
is.
Sorry.
You should chill out.
Sorry. My
Whoa,
bad. My bad.
whoa, whoa! This whole being bought out by Bob Dulio is really affecting our friendship.
It has.
It's
been
really
fucking-
affecting the
it's been
podcast.
tempting.
Throwing
We're,
a
we're all
wrench.
we're all just so stressed out. I get it.
We are.
It's new and exciting stuff, but let's just chillax there for a bit.
There we go.
Righto.
It's been a pretty busy week on this side.
Good.
Actually, I haven't done very much gaming at all. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, to be honest. It's been pretty bonkers. I've been helping my granddad out with getting his house ready. He's thinking about selling it. And I used a pressure washer in the gutters.
Nice.
I now know what happens when you use a pressure washer in some dirty ass gutters.
Oh,
Is that
Oh,
that
really?
picture where you were just covered?
Yeah. Yes. I was covered in mud and gross gutter oil. It's literal
actual
gutter
gutter oil. It's the literal
Legit.
gutter oil.
Literal gutter oil. It
Full
was fucking
circle.
gross.
Full
Yeah,
circle.
it was pretty brutal. Other than that, I got into a kind of heavy debate with somebody on the social medias about.
Oh, I was here for that.
Yeah, it went
I
on
was
for
there
like
for that.
it went on for like 3 days. Isn't that
Oh,
weird though?
Jesus.
Isn't that fucking weird though that I was just talking about that a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
like heavily,
Yeah.
and then boom, it like exactly what I was talking about started popping up all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's-
for those,
It's the power of the podcast.
I guess, yeah, for those that don't know, it's Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act, and basically what it says, I believe it was actually sorted in '96 and '97, and in a nutshell, what it says is that social media platforms can't be liable for the content that their users post on their platforms. To me, that makes sense. It's the reason that when people post things that are inappropriate, that the Facebook, YouTube, etc., doesn't get sued for it. However, the user can be. What's been in hot debate as of lately is the difference in the idea of a publisher versus a platform. Presently, the social medias are considered a platform. The idea of a publisher would be somebody that is like a news outlet or somebody that has control over the content, makes changes, edits, can kind of direct the narrative. And the debate that my friend and I were having, which was good, it was very civil. There was a couple times
That's
where it
good.
started to waver, and I kept trying to pull, we tried to pull it in. I didn't want to deviate from the subject. I didn't want to get into politics aside from this specific law. And when it was all done, I don't believe him nor I saw really eye to eye on the other's opinion on the matter. However, it still ended civilly.
That's good.
Because he does have a valid argument. The valid argument he has is that it's a company, it's a public company because it has a board and all that and stock, but it's still private. So they can choose what can and cannot be on their platform because it's their business. They own the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
What makes it where the debate piece comes in is the fact that the line between publisher and platform is pretty vague presently. It's
Yeah.
both vague and very specific at the same time. But the way the rule is set up is because there's still a list of rules of things that because a platform is not allowed or not supposed to. A platform, not so much or not supposed to, because you can choose to, but then you start crossing into a publisher place if you edit your content. And where I was going with it was bannings and videos getting taken down and the stuff that us content creators run into from time to time. And my argument to it, or the thing was, if you want to be protected by that law, it's kind of important that you stay within the boundaries of a platform, because the law does not protect those that are labeled as a publisher.
Yeah.
So when these social medias start editing the content and making changes and doing things with it, and again, there is a list in that makes sense. You can't be posting acts of threats. You can't be posting, or the even a platform can remove these things. But it's when you start getting into the stuff that's like, well, that doesn't make any sense just because it doesn't agree with the actual narrative around here, is a big thing that we see often. I have a friend named Manny who gets Facebook jailed all the time for this type of thing. So we got into a big debate about that as to his argument was that it's a private business and they can do what they want. And I agree. They can do whatever they want. However, if they want to be protected by this law, it's important that they stay in the platform status. Because if they move into publisher, they're no longer protected by that law.
They can't have it both ways.
They can't have it both ways. And presently with the way that they edit, change, block, ban, etc., people that are not breaking the rules that are set forth in that statute, because that stuff doesn't have anything to do with the list, but that list is vague, and that's why it's up for debate presently, because he's not wrong, but neither am I, which is, if they're going to act like a platform, treat them like a platform, or be a platform. If you want to be a publisher, it's cool, whatever you want to do, but but that's kind of the debate we've been having lately, and it's been good. I mean, it got a little weird a couple times, and even I stepped in it a couple, you know what I mean? But that's why you do it, is so that you get better at having
I've never
civil
seen
debates.
like a section or like a post with so many comments. Wasn't there like 196 comments or something like that on it? I was like,
Wow.
holy crap.
Yeah, it's probably past 200 at this point because we did keep going. But
yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, holy shit! I've never seen a post with that many comments. That like that's awesome though.
yeah, he's a good dude. I hope to have more civil debates with him, because I will admit we sit on fairly polar opposite sides of some topics.
I chimed in with that Michael Jackson.
I know you
meme
did. It had me
where
cracking
he's
up.
eating popcorn. I said, don't worry, I'm just here for the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, it's been a good week. I made a trip to Micro Center twice this week, which, for those of you who don't know, it's like an hour and a half drive away from, like an hour and a half to, roughly about somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hour drive, unless you're riding with our buddy Piff, in which case it's about a 45-minute ride.
I've seen your comment. I've never seen a car go to 107 or something like that.
So everything was like, so we drove up to Micro Center because we're working on my cousin's computer actually, and I'm like, fuck it, let's just. Actually, I've been talking to my dad about going for like the past week, and then out of nowhere, I'm starting to think I'm psychic, guys. Out of nowhere, Piff's like, hey, what are you guys doing? You want to go to Micro Center tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I was just talking about it. So we end up going, and our friend Major had sent me a processor for him. It was a 360 is it's the Ryzen 7 chip.
Mhm.
It was a Ryzen 7, but I had it, and I didn't know much about that chip because I've had what I've had, and I haven't really done a ton of research. I haven't needed. Necessity breeds the need. What is that? What is that? You guys know what I'm saying. So I haven't really looked into processors lately. I have a general idea, but the details anyways. So anyways, I bring the chip with me because it's sealed up, everything's good. It's in the box and in the wrapping, and I just kind of wanted to look at it and do some research on the drive while I was on the way out there, which I did. So we get there, I pick up the motherboard, a couple other things. Oh, there it is. Necessity breeds innovation is what Piff says. What's up, bro? Piff has joined us actually. So we get there and we pick up a couple pieces, and he has to pick up a couple pieces as well. The Warhammer store is closed, unfortunately. I love stopping there. Every time I go to Micro Center, I like to stop there and look at it like a museum, because people, they paint those little Warhammer figurines and then they put them up. And I used to play it, and Total War is one of my favorite games. Warhammer Total War is. I don't play it because I get addicted to it too hard. All these guys here know I have a problem in the first place. Usually, when I find something that I dig into, I tend to put a vault door over the top of it, and that's where I'm at for a while.
You play it until you burn yourself out.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. Actually, the only reason I stopped playing Elite Dangerous is because my ring finger knuckle on my right hand it's still super tender. I can't really pick up things really hard. You know what I mean? I can't really squeeze things too much. Or it doesn't have a lot of power. I don't know, man. It hurts. My freaking finger is killing me. Yeah. And it's been like a couple weeks since I played that game, and it still hurts.
It's been a hot minute.
It's because I broke it once, I think. I don't even know if it was broken, but it was. I really hurt my knuckle at one point, and I didn't do anything about it. And it actually sits lower than the other ones and everything, but and that's the same knuckle that hurts really bad. So I think just messing with the controller for so long, or the joystick for as long as I did, I might have hurt it. But we get there, we get the stuff. They get their stuff. We end up going and getting pho. What was it?
Yeah, you guys got pho, and Nate got stir fry, because I was giving him shit. I was like, "Thanks for the invite, asshole."
Oh, it was good. I got the pho too. Oh, I know. We thought of as we were going. We were like, "Oh man, we should have invited Mark. We should have invited whatever his name is."
The other guy that we podcast with.
It was worth it for the
well,
look.
I could see I'm not wanted here anymore. So.
Hey man, I want to have your baby someday. So, anyway, we get the stuff, and yeah, it was. Pip says it was a bromance trip. So we get the stuff and we head back. We grab the food. We head back, and we stop at a pier for like a smoke break, basically. So we get out and we're kind of hanging out, and we took some pictures. We actually had some really awesome conversations. We talked about like ancient humans and what is that, cryptozoology stuff, and
Oh yeah.
just my theory about the world being hollow and that whole theology that it's basically turned into. Kind of. Piff says the mud giants are real. The Eye of the Sahara, guys, look up the Eye of the Sahara, and then do a Google Google Earth of it, and then think about the story or the description of what Atlantis looked like.
The Eye of the Sahara.
Yeah, the Eye of the Sahara. You don't even have to do it right now. This is for our audience. When you get a chance to look up the Eye of the Sahara, and then think about the description of what Atlantis looked like, and then use Google Earth and pull out and look at the way that the sand looks like a beach, almost like a giant wave once upon a time might have come up and pulled everything back. And then when you dig deeper into it, that area there's a freshwater spring right in the center. And there's I believe, if I remember correctly, there's elephant bones all over the sediment, all over in the soil, all in there.
Oh, that's
dude,
nifty.
When you start putting the pieces together of the lore and the way that the Earth would react to a super tsunami,
yeah,
I don't know. We don't need to run down that road, but hey, that's a thing. So we talked about that for a little bit. Thanks for reminding me, bro.
Didn't even know that was a country.
yeah, it was a cool thing. It was a really, really, really cool. It was a nice road trip. But we stopped to have the smoke break, and I forgot my vape juice in my bag. So let me go get that. I get it, vape up. We stand around, take a couple pictures, compare cameras, get back in the car, drive off. I'm on my way home. You know, the windows were down as we were driving home, so it was a little louder. So we weren't talking all that much on the way home. But I was debating with my buddy. That was day 2 of the homestead argument. It felt like that way at times. Of the conversation. I get home, I grab all the stuff. I realize, where the fuck is my bag? Yeah, I left the damn book bag on a bench at the pier with my cousin's fucking processor inside of it.
F.
Yes. So that's when I got to experience 107 miles an hour inside of I think it was a Porsche. I don't know if you're still here hanging. Piff, what was that? I think it was a Porsche. I don't know what it was, but a Lamborghini. I think it was a Lamborghini. Bro, 2020, that shit was ridiculous. Apparently there's a button you can push in the car. The car literally drops and raises.
I know Porsches do that.
A slow Maro. Anybody know what that is?
Mm.
I don't know if he's referring to what we were just talking about right now, but a Camaro. It was a Camaro we were in.
Oh yeah,
fucking
that's
awesome.
what Nate was saying.
Yeah. All right. I thought it was a Lamborghini. I don't know cars. Guys, I don't know cars. I don't know cars. I wish I did, but I don't. You want to talk about good Skyrim mods? I got you. But cars?
Yeah, it's like,
Much. Gypsy Caravan, by the way, check it out if you're a Skyrim player still. Anyways, it's a dope ass mod.
Nice plug.
Yeah, it's a good mod. It's dope. It gives you a carriage that literally folds out into a house, attaches to a horse and everything. It's fucking dope.
I like it.
Anyways, so I ended up calling the police station down there and just asking them, hey, if anybody drops a bag off, this is my name, and all that. And then I get home, and the guy that gave me the idea that the Earth, if we are a farm by the Inner Earthers, what we're greatest tie into that ever was CO2, which someday I'm sure we'll talk about again. Wasn't the processor in the box you got in the mail? Yeah. Well, what's on the box you got in the mail? My address. So there is a slight chance that might show up if a good Samaritan happened to stumble across it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed on that one. So yes. So my poor cousin has been waiting long enough to get this computer back to him. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. And Mom already wanted to go on a trip today, so yeah, I'm hanging out with the folks until I get back on my feet when the Rona ends. So we went out there, picked up his processor. So I have brand new processor. It's actually better than the one we had. It's a 3700X.
Nice.
I have the 2700.
Yeah, it was
Jeez.
it was $250. It's a good price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good price though for a processor. And fortunately, I was able to get the deal on it because I bought the freaking motherboard yesterday for it. So we're gonna be putting that thing together and getting that thing all up and running for him. Other than that, man, I've just been keeping up on these. Oh yeah, that's how. And then it was on the way back to checking to see if the bag was still there, because I knew it was gone. Like, God bless Nate. He's like, oh, it's gonna be there, man. Just believe. I'm like, bro, that was a nice bag.
Gotta believe.
If it was in my other book bag that looked like trash, then it might still be there. But that was a brand new.
No, probably someone might have
hiking.
stolen it because they might have thought it was like, heroin was in it or something.
Right, and then threw it in the ocean.
And then found a big ass processor in it, and they're like, holy shit.
I've been needing one of these. I'm like, yeah.
There's a Ryzen 3700 in here. It's like,
Oh my god.
it's exactly
Yes.
what I needed.
The homeless guy. Yeah. Biff was saying the homeless guy was using it for making pre-hold. So like, he says the Ryzen 7. He's like, oh, there's me, and then I just need to find 6 other people. This is a sign.
Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they need 6 more guys, and then they'll have the Ryzen 7. have Adam Sandler in it. But
Fucking awesome.
but yeah, I mean, other than that, man, I've just been keeping up on the riots and stuff that are going on. You know, it does seem like there's two different, sects of people. You have the people that are protesting, and then you have the people that are rioting, and it all comes down. Honestly, I mean, I know there's a lot of heat in the racial thing, and it's very warranted, and it is a thing. But if we can get a grasp, my opinion kind of is, if we can get a grasp on the abuse of our civil liberties as a whole, because that's what it comes down to. Like, it's a civil liberty issue, because the cops, it just seems like most of them are good. I'm sure most of them are good. Absolutely, most of them are good for sure.
Yeah, there's the few bad apples that ruin the bunch.
Yeah, and it's those people that they don't care about humans. You know what I mean? That's what it feels more like. I mean, yeah, there's 100% a racial thing that does happen, but all of it on all sides is violations of the American civil liberties. And if we can just put a blanket over that and say this needs fixed, inherently the benefit would be for for everybody. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't. Hold them more accountable.
Yeah.
I suppose. I think maybe if you carry the shield and the gun, you actually are more susceptible. Yeah, instead of being above it, you're more susceptible to it. So if you do something, it holds higher weight than a civilian, because you should know better.
Yeah,
Somebody's posted something today that said that you have to have X amount of hours to be a hairdresser. And the amount of time you need to be an officer is like nowhere even close to that.
You have to go through boot camp.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I mean, it's just like things need fixed, and those out there that are saying that we need to, get a group together and have an organization, or, I think that's that's the best option. I think is the dialogue is to have an actual committee of people, which I think they're working on. I don't know. If not, they damn well should be having a committee of people that is an oversight committee for it, because there's definitely problems, and it's not everybody. In all of it, it's not everybody. There's a lot of noise going on around about how the rioters, a lot of it has been started by people that are being funded by George Soros, and we will not go down that road. That's not necessary. You guys can dig into that and make your own opinions. But there is a fund that, as I understand it, as I've heard, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that he does fund an organizations that, I mean, literally they pass out manuals, and they this is how you do it. This is how you do a riot. And it's just like the Guild of Calamitous Intent is real. So, but the masses on all sides are that Venn diagram. It's the three with all the different things in it, and it's like me in the middle.
Yep.
Like that's kind of where I feel.
Yep.
I think that's the closest representation. I actually had a video or a picture get pulled.
Yeah, I seen you posted that.
You seen that?
Yeah.
And ironically enough, the debate I was literally just in with my buddy was about how stuff gets pulled down that's counter narrative to what it feels like they want people to be looking at. And then the picture, it's an officer standing behind a row of African Americans that are like blocking the protesters from him.
Yeah, because he got separated from the rest of the.
Because he got separated from them, yeah. And it got. I don't know enough about what that, like. I don't know, but it disappeared. It got removed. It said it's been removed. I'm like, okay, but I took a picture of it before that happened, so because I had a feeling, just in case, and so I reposted it. But that has been, I think, my week in a nutshell. We went to Melt for the first time too.
Where?
Melt. The
sandwich shop in Cleveland.
Oh.
Yeah,
They
that
have
place was
that
dope.
like the challenge, the man versus food challenge, which is like it's like a 5 pound grilled cheese sandwich.
There was no promoting. Nobody was promoting that. I didn't
Really?
hear anything. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a 5 pound grilled cheese sandwich, a pound of fries, and a pound of coleslaw. You eat it all in 30 minutes. You get the meal for free, your name on the wall, and a T-shirt. My issue is the coleslaw. I wouldn't be able to eat the coleslaw.
I wouldn't be down with the coleslaw
See,
so much. Certain coleslaws are good
Yeah,
though.
it depends on the coleslaw. Like general rule of thumb, I don't like coleslaw, but there's some coleslaw that I really like.
I had our names mixed up, James. There we go.
Oh my god.
Gotta be careful.
You're me and I'm you.
Ah,
And we will have
Reporters,
our-
man.
That's
And what
probably
I've
why
been
you
knowing
couldn't
before
remember
what
my
happened.
fucking name.
It probably was. I saw my name under yours.
What did you get on milk?
I got a peanut butter bacon.
What?
Melt. Yeah,
Huh.
it was cheeseburger. Peanut butter
Nice.
bacon cheeseburger. And it was exactly what I expected it to be. Which was mediocre actually. I thought like maybe they would put a zing on it, maybe do something with it. There used to be a place called Pepper Bellies here. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was in the place was dope. It was in a really old it used to be a firehouse.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
that place was awesome. But they had
Downtown.
but they had a Thai peanut butter chicken sandwich and it was peanut butter, but it had like Thai sauce of some kind in it. I don't know. But it was really good. And I was hoping for something like that. And no, it was just like they
You
just
set
slapped
your
a
expectations
thing of peanut
too
butter
high, my
on it.
friend.
It was good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good, but it was kind of not what I was hoping for.
I feel ya.
It was really good actually. I really much enjoyed it, but I was hoping it would be a little something
You
unique.
went from it was mediocre to it was good to it was really good.
And then it wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
It was really good in the sense if you weren't expecting anything, but if you were expecting something, it wasn't
Yeah.
what you expected, which made it.
I gotcha.
It could have made
Okay.
it a home type thing.
All right.
Yeah,
You know,
I like
it was
milk.
good.
It's like Picasso's.
How was yours?
They have
You
like
got
a
the Philly.
unique. Oh, nice. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
you got the Philly. That was dope.
they have some normal sandwiches, but they also have different sandwiches like Picasso's has.
Oh man, I had the one with the Twinkie on it the other day.
At Picasso's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I don't know how they were able to make that taste good, but
Canaan?
they made it taste good.
I like the bacon. There's one with like mac and cheese and stuff in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one I usually get. That one's pretty good.
Like the Da Vinci or something weird like
Yeah,
that.
I think
but
it's Da Vinci.
The one that comes with pesto sauce is pretty good.
Pesto sauce is great. Overall.
It
God
is
damn it,
good.
I'm getting hungry now. Shut
I
up
know.
about food. I
The
really
hard
do.
conversations like
Yes.
swim down the river.
do you want me to go or do you want to go,
Kill
James?
machine.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. Well, Jeff, are you done?
I think so. Anything else
Okay.
happen? No, I think that's about it.
I'll go. My week was pretty short, so. For myself, played Apex Legends with Mark. We got our first win.
Yeah,
Nice.
bro.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's
Getting
always
them
that's fun.
dubs!
Look, yeah, we did. And it was actually I was reading an article on Apex, kind of sidebar into like some news, but not really news. So they released the most popular character in Apex as of right now. The number one most played character is Wrath. 27% of people play Wrath, 10% play Pathfinder, 9% Lifeline, and then it goes from
Yeah.
there.
My girl.
It's just
That's
crazy.
yeah.
The 27% Wrath, and then it literally drops by 17% to Pathfinder, and which is weird because like I like Wrath, but at the same time, like she's a different character. But yeah, that's
Sounds like Wrath is in the meta.
Yeah, she's the most used character in season 5 by far. So I haven't really played much, but they did a lot of buffs on a lot of characters, so maybe that's why. But I played ton of Apex. I don't know what it is with this season, but I checked my PlayStation because the PlayStation's where we started playing Apex. I have more kills in Season 5 on the PC than I do on the PlayStation, and I have 10 wins on Season 5, which is double the amount I have for all the other um seasons of Apex Legends.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I think I have more than 10 wins, but still I have a decent amount. When I don't know what's going on, but it's funny though because some games will do really good, other games will do complete
USB Garbo.
Yep, Mark knows. And
It's
um,
that game.
yeah,
Just get a bad
fun,
roll,
but
bad fly, or bad drop
Yeah.
in. That's it.
oh god, and it throws you off too because they bounce back and forth between the two worlds. So you get used to one world and how everything goes and how you drop and where everything's at, for it to then switch over to the other world and just fucking throws a giant wrench into everything. It's weird. Um, so I've mostly been doing that. Played a lot more Final Fantasy VII.
Good. Where
Over the
you at?
weekend. I am now 16 hours in, so I'm about halfway. I am Don Cornelio's. I'm doing
Don
that.
Cornero.
Canero, yeah. I am doing his stuff now, so I still got a ways to go, but I am now in the process of doing
you do.
that.
Still got
What?
a good way to go.
I figured I have about 20 more hours to completely finish it. So, but yeah, I'm doing that stuff now in the Sector 6, Sector 7 stuff. So
Sector 6.
Yeah, but so I got that going for me. I've been doing that. I've been playing that off stream during the weekend because my wife's been working Friday and Saturday night. She works third shift, so she's sleeping, which I can't play on my computer because my computer's in my bedroom. So then I go downstairs with the boys, but they're doing their own thing. It's just like, okay, I don't have cable. I've watched uh, Aladdin, the live action, Moana, Frozen 1 and 2 more times than I can count. The Greatest Showman, Sonic, the live action movie, probably at least 30 times each of them. Disney movies more so. Way, way more. Moana is probably an every other night adventure, so. So it's just like, it's 1 o'clock. Do I really want to watch Moana now and then watch it again at 7 o'clock before they go to bed? I know, I'll just game. So I've been doing that off stream. Past that, really nothing much. Waiting to still reschedule the Havasu Falls. That comes up here. I was supposed to go June 23rd. They're doing 1 day at a time, so they don't break their servers. And they're doing 1 day at a time. They're letting you reschedule 9 days in advance. So theoretically, I won't be able to reschedule my Havasu fall trip until between the 10th and the 13th of June. Which is crazy to me because there's people that come all over the country, including the some people from overseas that come to this Havasu Falls. Like there was a guy that's going the same dates as me that is from Pennsylvania. And it's just like to know or not know if you can go 9 days in advance.
Yeah.
Like it to me is just baffles me because you have hotels. You have to get you have to get plane tickets. That's the bigger thing is plane
Yep.
tickets.
Time off of work.
Yeah. So, and it's just like to reschedule. Now, I get why they're doing the 1 day in advance. They don't want to break their servers because when you try to schedule the actual tickets, the server is trash. It took me a good 25 minutes to get the dates that I got.
Well, there's
And that
one
was me on
easy
3
solution.
computers.
There's
that?
one easy solution to that. Get better servers.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you got to think though, there's hundreds of people that are trying to do this each
Yeah,
year.
there's hundreds of thousands of people that go on Amazon every day, or
that's
at
true.
one time.
Probably more, yeah.
Probably more,
Yeah, that's
but like
true.
at once, there's probably
they- They also own like 70% of the internet, or host
Yeah, true.
70% of the internet. So
And I can see
So
them
just
not wanting
use-
to do that too because it's only 1 day a year. It's only 1 day of the year they have to worry about it. So why pay all this money for the servers for 1 day? You know.
I'm
So-
sure they make their money.
Oh, 100%
I'm sure
they do.
they can afford it.
$300 to $400 a pop based on when you go. So
Guaranteed they can afford it.
$300 to $400 a ticket based on the time of year that you go, and that's non-refundable unless you get travel insurance, and then the travel company refunds you, not the Havasu Falls.
They can eat a dick. Not refunding that bullshit. Go eat a fucking cock.
So, but rescheduled. Hawaii tentatively still a go, but we'll find out. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Just waiting. Our city is 8 p.m. curfew. Now, as of right now, I cannot go outside for any means. So you can't even get food. God damn it. What?
Oh no, what are you gonna do? Well, no, except if you're going to work, you have a
Yes.
medical emergency or you're a first responder.
So there's that. But past that, that's pretty much it. Nothing too cray. None of my games want to load or play, so we've been pretty much stuck with Apex Legends and GTA for the little bit that we played that, and then the one day it didn't even work. Try to
Nice.
play fucking Left 4 Dead 2 every day for like the past 4 days, doesn't even load. So I uninstalled the game completely and reinstalled it. So we'll see maybe if it works one of these days. But
Hope so.
that's it for me. James, how about you, man? How was your adventurous week?
So I had a pretty adventurous week. First things first. Hey, I bought this. I bought a keyboard.
I like it.
Whoa.
It's a lap board.
That is a
So-
ridiculous looking keyboard, bro.
It's got little squishy things on the back.
Jealous.
So I could just sit it on my lap, and it has a nice little mouse pad here.
I think it's
can
huge.
so I can game. Dude, this came in 3 fucking boxes. So I
Yeah,
ordered it off of
really?
Amazon. By the way, let me tell you, I was gonna get a Corsair one. The K, I think it's like the K65 one. The cool thing about that is that it had the keyboard itself could actually pop out of the lap board. But it was like $150. I was like, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll purchase it. Then I saw this guy on Amazon, and it was like $150. I'm like, okay. I click on it just to take a look at it. I'm like, okay, I already have my heart set on this Corsair one. And then I see this lovely thing that says, use 40% off coupon.
Done.
And I go, fuck Corsair, click, buy now. So, I mean, this is like a $150 keyboard. I spent like $100 on it.
That's pretty
Got
good.
that Prime free shipping. It came in a gigantic Amazon box. And inside that gigantic Amazon box was a smaller, this is a smaller Rock Cat box. And inside that smaller Rock Cat box was the actual keyboards
I like it.
box. So I'm like, okay, I got like 800 boxes now. Cool. So I got that. I also got something else. I got, you could see on my hands, I got some Band-Aids on there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I got 3 stitches and a tetanus shot.
No thanks.
Nah.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
Sounds horrible, man. When I saw the
sounds
picture, I'm like,
horrible.
your poor Waz does.
Yeah. So the first day it was pretty rough with the day it happened. Well, correction. After the first few hours, because my middle finger was still numb as shit from the numbing agents that they put in there. Which, let me tell you, that hurt more than cutting my finger. That
Oh, I
hurt
bet.
like a son of a bitch.
What did?
Shoving that needle in his hand.
Shoving
Oh.
a needle in my wound to numb it. Hurt like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
let me tell
no,
you,
boy.
let me
No,
tell
no.
you, I could not feel this finger at all.
Don't
I
doubt
cut it at work. I cut it on work, on a washing machine. Pretty nice gash in my finger. So that was pretty cool. I got to leave work early. That was rad. It happened on Memorial Day, so I missed that holiday pay. Missed part of that holiday pay. The doctor said to come back in about a week to get the stitches removed. So I'm thinking probably Wednesday going to get the stitches removed so I can actually use my finger again. Because I can't. I make the mistake of accidentally grabbing stuff with this finger, or other things with this finger, and it just hurts like a son of a bitch. So that's been a fun experience.
How was going to
Uh,
the hospital and shit? Was that like bumping?
I went to urgent care.
Okay.
Yeah, it was basically I walked in, there was no one else there. They're like, "Okay, give us 5 minutes, we'll come get you." I'm like,
That's
"Okay."
awesome.
I sit
shocking.
down, and, yeah, and I walk in, find out my blood pressure was super high. The doctor asked why. Well, the nurse was like, "Oh, your blood pressure's a little high. You nervous or you hurt?" And I look at her. I
I'm
look at her as my hand is gushing blood,
Oy vey.
and I look at her. I'm like, "You joking, right?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, right."
"Oh yeah, I forgot why
Understandable.
you're here." Like, yes, lady.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I checked my work email the other day, and it was the first time I checked it after this happened, and I get like 5 emails from the same person. It's like, "Oh, tell us what happened about the injury from the insurance company, from the workers' comp company," and I go, "Bitch, give me a fucking second, okay? You don't have to send me an email every goddamn day." And it was the same email.
No, we need to know now.
We need to know right stat now. But I got that all taken care of.
Good.
I beat Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, you did.
I beat it finally. So now I'm like, I don't know what to stream now other than RE3.
Without spoiling it, because I don't want to know. The ending, yay or nay, was it good or was it bad?
Oh, it was
in your
great.
opinion?
It was great.
Okay. I know there's mixed opinions on the ending, so I don't want to know what happened, but I just want to know if you thought it was good or bad, though.
So
Does it help advance the game to the next one?
not really. Well, I mean, kinda, yeah, sort of. I mean, you still end up at the same place at the end of the original, so
I got you.
Walker, let me just tell you this right now. Punisher mode is your best friend.
At the end, or just in general?
Pretty much at the end. There is in that the last, I would say, third of the game.
Mhm.
Other than one fight, do not leave Punisher mode. Other than one fight. But that mode you just want to stick in regular. Was
Do you
like
get the chance
operator
to
mode.
pick your party towards the end of the game, or no? It just picks for you.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if they let you do that or not.
Yeah. So your party will be there are times where the party will split up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's either going to be just Cloud, Barrett or Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, or Cloud, Tifa, Barrett
I got you.
with Red 13.
Here and there, yeah.
Yeah,
Non-playable character.
Yeah, but he sticks around for like the rest of the game.
That's good.
Make sure that you have characters that can give you some nice buffs for physical and elemental resistance. Make sure that you have. I have 2 really good healers. This is important on the final stretch of the game. Because you fight an enemy that will have no issue wiping your team if they're below 80% health.
Nice.
So be careful about that. Yeah, just also if you lose against that fight, you start, probably like 15 minutes back. So, yeah, so just be careful about that. Spec your party out right.
Thank you.
I'll spec your party out, right?
Nice. What else? I thought I played something else, but I could
You did.
be
You played it a couple nights ago. It was a new release. Good old Minecraft.
Oh, I thought that was last week. What the fuck? Yeah, I played Minecraft Dungeons. I streamed it for a bit.
Oh, was it?
Do you like Diablo?
Yeah.
It's Diablo but with Minecraft. That's all it is. Not even joking.
It's free on Steam Pass, isn't it? Not Steam
Game
Pass.
Pass.
Game Pass, yeah.
Yeah, it's included on Game Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
all it is just it's
Do you descend into a hell-like scenario?
kinda
A Minecraft-like scenario.
a Minecraft like hell scenario.
Define
Um,
hell.
I mean, yeah.
Suddenly
no,
you're warped into agony.
The only thing about it is that you don't choose a class at the beginning. So you can kind of be a little loosey-goosey with your characters. Basically, you could have them do whatever they want at any time just by switching out weapons. So, and you always have a bow and arrow with you, so you could always do ranged attacks.
Cool. Important.
So, I mean, it is very Diablo-like. It is a dungeon crawler, isometric dungeon crawler. I would give it a recommend. I mean, me and my buddy Joseph, we played it for probably about 3 hours,
Yeah, it was a good three
Or
and
so.
a half hours.
something
So
like
if you
that.
have Game Pass, you know what to do. Give it a
Yeah.
shot. Try it out. Let us know in the comments.
I know my girlfriend really liked
Yeah,
it.
let us know what you think.
Don't play it. Don't try to go into dungeons at a very high level, because they take 20 goddamn years. We did one dungeon, no shit, for an hour and a half. We did one
Really?
dungeon for an hour and a half, and we died before beating it.
Oh,
We were
Damn.
exploring the entire thing. This was like second to highest difficulty. But yeah,
Jeez,
we
that's-
explored the entire thing, and we tried to explore the entire thing. There was still a good chunk of it that we didn't even touch, and it was like an hour and a half in,
yeah, I'd be
and
pissed.
we got wiped. So
I'd be so mad.
Yeah, nobody wants
Yeah.
that.
yeah. So yeah, Minecraft Dungeons, Final Fantasy VII, fucking up my finger, keyboard. That sounds
Been
like
a
a
great
week.
week.
Sounds like a good week.
That sounds like a week. White Claw tonight, you know,
There you go, baby.
starting to feel it a little bit.
Good night.
Podcast.
Bobcast.
Oh, sorry,
Bobcast, yeah.
Bobcast. Yeah, Bobcast. Level Unlock
Level Unlock
Bobcast.
Bobcast. Let's get into some news, shall we?
Before we get into the news,
Yes, let's do it.
let's shout out our patrons real quick.
Yes, of course.
Shout out to Jeffrey, Jeff, and Morgan as our patrons.
Thank you, thank you,
Okay.
thank
Oh.
you. As
Yeah,
always.
give us some.
Also, kind of a thing that it was a part of my week because I did it literally right before the podcast. Me, friend Mitchell, and Ramon all talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake for an hour and 40 minutes. So that's going to be going up on the Patreon soon as
Exclusively.
exclusive content.
Yes.
So make sure to
Shit.
subscribe to the Patreon for a hot take. I guess it's not a hot take because I kind of agree with everything.
Oh, it's
A
a,
take.
it's a review.
A very in-depth review. Very in-depth discussion, I would say, on the game.
On Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
And you can find that, of course, patreon.com/levelunlockpodcast, where you can become a part of Lockpickers, Lockpick Nation, Level Unlocked podcast. Make sure if you do want to be a part of it, you can be. Each week we do update. We haven't been, unfortunately. We do apologize. But in best case scenario weekly, there is some sort of review or writing that we provide, and there is multiple tiers. Each tier makes you a more advanced lockpicker, upwards to a level lockpicker, which gives you special little treats. Movie nights, do whatever. You can present us with any type of news, a discussion, we'll read it, or whatever it may be. So we appreciate you for hanging out, and everyone who joins us in the future. And even if you aren't able to be a part of the Patreon, we appreciate you hanging out and listening. So let's dive into some news, shall we, boys?
Walker, by the way, I'm glad that you finally gave me mod privileges on your.
I didn't know you weren't. I could have swore that you were. I don't know that you weren't. Apologize about that. Let's
Yeah,
get
let's
into
get into some news. Who wants to go? I mean, I can go. I got a lot of news.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, let's get
Nicole's
into the
talking
gaming
to me,
news. We never
never
get
start
into
with
the
gaming
gaming news first. We always
Yeah,
do
let's
like
do that
movies
first.
and TVs. So I'm not used to talking this early. So first thing that we got. You guys know how I like Silent Hill. You know how much I really like Silent Hill and how it's one of my favorite games of all time, Silent Hill 2.
It's pretty great.
Dead by Daylight's getting Silent Hill content.
Oh,
It looks like,
That sounds
according,
neat.
yeah, apparently the upcoming Silent Hill DLC, which releases June 16th, this is from GameSpot, will include Silent Hill 2's antagonist Pyramid Head and Silent Hill 3's protagonist Cheryl Mason. I'm not even going to get involved. I'm not even going to touch this with a 10-foot pole when it comes to lore. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's fan service. It's not canon. It doesn't matter. I just need to remind myself this. Dave has taken a toll on many of the gaming industry and many industries as a whole. BlizzCon has been canceled due to Dave. So it looks like they're trying to put together an online replacement, but most likely that's going to happen in 2021, so next year. I'll talk about Last of Us Part 2 State of Play last. It's a new month, guys. Well, actually, in about 40 minutes, it's a new month. So that means we got new PlayStation Plus games for June, and also Xbox Live games with gold for June. So this month's this month's PlayStation Plus games are Call of Duty World War II, which is actually available right now because people were so pissed off about the games last month, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, the new one, the 2016 one. Those are both free. Immediately, it's already better than the Farming Simulator and City Skylines one from last month, from May. Games with gold, we have Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, free from June 1st to June 30th. Coffee Talk, which is free from June 16th to July 15th. Destroy All Humans, which is free for June 1st through 15th. And then Sin Mora, which is free from June 16th through 30th. Sony has been
Doop, doop, doop.
Sony has been sprinkling some stuff about the PlayStation 5 recently. The big thing is that June 4th, we're going to find out. We're gonna get a look at the system. We're gonna learn about some games. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be working. Maybe I might call off. Who knows? We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Which other rumors have been saying that not Final Fantasy. Silent Hill, the new Silent Hill game and the new Resident Evil game might be showed off at the PlayStation reveal. So I might have to just uninstall Twitter for a while before I actually watch it. But before that news broke, we got another news from developers saying that any game that companies want to make for the PlayStation 4 beginning July 13th must be compatible with the PlayStation 5. So it seems like Sony, especially with like the newer games, it looks like, are really going to start heavily focusing on backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 4. So pretty much if any game before July 13th, it's not require PlayStation 5 compatibility, but according to them, it is strongly recommended. If a game originally submitted to Sony after July 13th, any future patch or remastered to that game would need to keep PS5 compatibility. So, it seems like Sony's doing the good when it comes to backwards compatibility. That was something a lot of people shit on the PS4 for. It didn't have any backwards compatibility. So good on them. Good on
Yeah,
them. Here's a little
definitely makes
piece.
the system worth more.
Yeah, it does, and it helps ease into the upgrading process, the early adoption. Here's some weird news that I found 2 hours ago before the podcast. This is what I dub Final Fantasy Beat the Heat campaign. So, the Final Fantasy Beat the Heat campaign gets you some things in one of their more popular games. The campaign period is between, this is from Square Enix, June 11th at 1 a.m. Pacific time to June 30th at 7:59 a.m. Pacific time again. Apparently, you get some things. It looks like just like extra skill stuff. But here's the thing. It's for Final Fantasy 11.
Got the crossover.
No. This is the MMO that came out in 2002.
Yeah, are you talking about the crossover though from 14
Nope.
to 11? Oh,
Nope, I'm talking about the new stuff that's happening in Final Fantasy 11.
that's funny.
It's the future, boys.
I remember seeing this game at Blockbuster for the PS2. I can't believe you can. And then this led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen. I jumped down a little rabbit hole. You can still subscribe to Final Fantasy 11 and still play it on official Square Enix servers.
Shit.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that because I know they took down the PS2 and 360 servers, but apparently they're keeping up the PC servers. So, hey, cool. It's still making a money.
With that though, to add on to it, on June 22nd, the two worlds are actually colliding. Final Fantasy 14 and 11 are coming together for the Maiden's Rhapsody Memories of an Unseen Realm collaboration event, where the two worlds are actually going to be able to play together, and you can travel back and forth to realms in
Oh, that's
Final
cool.
Fantasy 11, and Final Fantasy 11 can travel to realms in Final Fantasy 14. It
Pretty
is
fat.
a one day only event, but the two will basically intertwine, and you'll be able to play 14 with 11 and 11 with 14.
So fucking weird that they're still doing stuff with 11. That's so weird.
Maybe this is their way of trying to nudge that player base into 14.
Yeah, but still though.
There is
It's-
people that I know, like Ninja and stuff. He plays 11. He loves
He plays
Um,
11 or 14.
11.
Oh yeah.
11
people
Final
love
Fantasy
11.
11. He says is one of his favorite games of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people. I know a few people that prefer 11 over 14. I never played 11, so I can't say I love 14.
I can see Schroeder's point though. It's like, hey, okay, this game is 10 plus years old at this point, if not more.
18.
18
It's
years
almost
old.
20 years old.
Let's
That game can vote.
I can see them being like, I can see them doing that crossover and being like, hey, okay, so now you guys see the possibilities of 14. Let's move to 14.
Then everyone
can see
buys
that.
it on PS3 before the servers go down.
That's true.
All right, let's get into the big or do we want to talk about Last of Us 2 now or wait?
Let's wait for that. Let's
Okay.
dive into some other stuff first before we get to that piece. You got anything more, Marco? Or
I mean, Mark, do you have anything?
I only got one thing for gaming news. But
Okie dokie.
Sure. Yeah, have you ever wondered why a villager left your island in Animal Crossing? Well,
Yes, tell me more.
good old data miners are back at it to let us know how to get villagers off your island. So there's a bunch of criteria that you must meet. Yeah, let me just go through this real quick. So you need to have at least 6 villagers living on your island before any will consider moving out. On a given day, the percentage chance of somebody asking to move out is given by the quantity of V times 5 plus C. So good old math here, where V is the amount of villagers you have, C is the amount of days since you last told the villager to leave or stay, which is a maximum of 30, and then 5 is 5. So there's a couple conditions that also rely on that actually happening. So there's a 5-day cooldown where you tell a villager to leave or stay, so no one will actually move in. If you told them within the last or move out within the last 5 days, if you told them within the last 5 days, fucking redundant, sorry. There's a 15-day cooldown starting on the day that the villager has left the island and the plot is freed up. So it's called a move out skip count. And then if all of those checks pass, a random villager will be picked to move out. Each villager's chance is based on the friendship calculated by it's the friendship floor is the best way to put it. So there's a good old math equation with that, which is the quantity of 300 minus A divided by 10, the quantity of that, all minus R. So A is the average friendship you have with all of your island residents, and then the amount of residents you have with the less of 200 is R. So there's a bit of math behind it. Nintendo Life did a really good write-up on how to do it.
Who
So-
put math in my Animal Crossing?
Brought to you by science and smart
Fucking
people.
Nintendo didn't want to make it easy. Just like, well, let's make it all a random roll. You want this guy
speaking
to...
of,
Go ahead.
speaking of Animal Crossing, I built a basement in my house in Animal Crossing. Now I'm done building house. House is done.
Just done?
Done
Yeah, house is done. House done. Done house. I can now stop playing the game. I have
You've reached the
completed
apex.
Animal Crossing.
That's all I got for that one.
I got some.
Now I have no use for my Nintendo or my Game Informer coming in this week.
Got a little bit here. So Crucible, the Amazon game that released last week, is already being considered a flop.
Really?
Oh
So-
boy.
Yes. The big budget game released last week. It topped the top 100 charts in every category, but never reaching number 1. On launch day, there was 25,000 concurrent players at its peak playing. 2 days later, after the launch, it dropped out of the top 100. 5 days later, after the launch, it only had 5,000 concurrent players.
Ooh.
It lost 20,000
Oof.
players in 5 days. As of yesterday, it is averaging between 2,000 to 3,000 concurrent players
Oof.
just
Oh my
1 week
heavens.
after its launch.
And that's
Here-
bad for a free-to-play game.
Yes.
Real quick, Piff says he dropped his Game Informer subscription due to all the wonderful gaming news found here.
Oh,
Thank you, man.
thanks, Piff.
As of
Game Informer's
yesterday,
bastards.
there was less than 1,000 players playing and less than
Ouch.
1,000 viewers across the platforms watching it.
Trust
My
videos.
God.
So unfortunately, the great anticipated game is it is now being considered a complete flop and a failure. It seemed honestly it had potential. It seemed like it did.
I had
gonna-
fun for
Do you
like
think there's
the
anything they can
4
do to
hours
bring
I
it
played
back?
A lot of people were upset about the intro, where the game glitched and you had to do the intro twice.
Yep.
So a
I
lot of
felt
people.
yesterday when we were playing fucking Grand Theft Auto and it kept showing me that damn diamond casino video. I'm like, alt tab.
Yep.
No, you have to watch it. Oh,
Yep.
mute.
So a lot of people were not happy about that. It was to the point where they even put it on the
I-
banner.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing. They put on the top, it's like, hey, here's a known bug. We're trying to fix it. We'll try to fix it within the next few days. And I go, what the fuck do you mean the next few days?
Yeah, it was like
This is
hours.
your launch day. You
Wait,
have
wait.
all hands on deck for launch day. You get that shit fixed in minutes, if possible. I had 3 updates on launch day. I had to close out of the game 3 times because of updates. That was crazy,
Well,
which is
that's
good. I mean,
That's what
I
you're
mean-
asking for.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
hey,
a lot
if I
of
didn't
people were
play it
really
on
upset about that.
if I didn't play it on launch day, then I probably wouldn't be able to play it because no one's playing it right now.
How much was that game?
It's
Free.
free.
Oh, okay. Well,
You got to think. Was it? It's 4v4, or sometimes 5v3 if the game wants to be fun. Wants to play tricks on you.
That is true.
So what? That's 8 players. So what is that? Like,
1,000 games, assuming they're all in a game.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like nothing if there's
Yep.
1,000 people playing.
The battle pass was $10 if you chose to buy it, and less than half of the people who played it on the initial launch bought the battle pass. So that kind of just goes into it as well. So we'll see if maybe they do some changes and fix it, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of failed launches, the CEO of Take-Two gave his opinion on the Google Stadia and asked why they
Yeah.
pulled their games from the platform. Streaming, he quoted, "Streaming technology is upon us. The launch of the Stadia has been very slow. I think that there was some overpromises on what the technology could deliver, and a lot of consumer disappointment as a result. Due to that, we pulled our product from the platform due to uncertain circumstances due to the future of the Google Stadia."
Yep.
So he didn't rule out going back to the platform, but he's waiting to see on the changes that they make to see what game changers that they can bring to the table, and they
And
haven't delivered
also-
on that yet.
Also, probably if Google decides to stick with it, or it becomes another thing for the graveyard. Because Google is known for just
Killing
icing stuff real quick.
projects, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick.
Yeah, he didn't really have nice things to say as to what with the Google Stadia. So hopefully, sorry if there's a lot of noise. My son has a balloon that's right next to me. But so maybe in the future. So with that,
Little bundles of love.
yeah, I know, right? We talked about the crossover. Final Fantasy. Speaking of Final Fantasy, the Crystal Chronicles is being remastered and is coming out this summer. So for anyone who liked the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle
No one
games,
did. No one liked Crystal Chronicles. Not a single soul liked Crystal Chronicles.
hey, you never know.
I returned that
Nah.
game.
Microsoft. Speaking of releases, I don't know if you talked about it or not. No Man's Sky is coming to
Oh.
Game Pass. So if
Shit.
you ever wanted to play No Man's Sky and you wanted to play it for free, now's your chance.
I really
tomorrow,
like No Man's Sky.
tomorrow it will be releasing on the Game Pass, and it'll come with the multiplayer update.
Nice.
So maybe it's
I
something we
hope
all grab
so.
and see if we all can play it. So
Multiplayer
also-
update came out like last year. I gotta hope it had that one. Damn.
So, with also launches, our chance to play Halo 3 is upon us. Next month, they were doing a limited beta on Halo 3 for the PC, which then they will take based off of the success and launch it hopefully by August. Exactly. So here's hoping we get the good old Halo 3 that we've all been waiting for.
Give us Forge mode, you fucks.
Yeah, I think the Inflate Insider is like June 22nd or June 20th or something like that.
So I'm
Those
hoping.
cowards.
So that's when you can access it if you're in the flight thing.
And also going to more releases, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel are now free on the Epic Game Store.
I am literally literally looking that up right now.
Yep, so you ever want to play Borderlands 2, another multiplayer game?
Pick up the Handsome Collection.
Yep, you get
Yeah,
that bad
it's-
boy for free on the Epic Game Store.
That's still going on?
Yeah.
It's going on
Till
right now.
Thursday.
Just going on right now.
Every
Game
Thursday
Store.
it changes.
I have the damn.
I
marker
heard
here.
I heard a rumor that Ark is supposed to be one of the next games coming up for free. So,
Oh man,
That'd be
Might-
awesome.
gonna make
Might-
all our friends mad.
Everyone that just bought it. Getting into more releases. So, the game that we'll be discussing here in a little bit, The Last of Us Part 2, along with a bunch of other games that are coming out for the PlayStation, Final Fantasy Remake, the massive game that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare that is currently at 180 gigs. If you have all the updates, all the other files, as well as Call
That's
of
too
Duty
big.
Warzone, yeah,
That's too
180
big.
gigs. Last of Us 2 is also confirmed that it'll be well over 100 gigs. Also, if you still have God of War, Horizon
War.
Zero Dawn, Cyberpunk 2077 when that comes out. So, how do you play all of these games on your PlayStation? You don't.
Science. Oh,
You
So,
stream it.
Western Digital is currently doing a sale on one of their passports that they say is exclusive for gaming. It is a 5 terabyte passport portable hard drive that's 33% off on Amazon.com that will get you ready and prepared for any games into the future. It is currently $100. So for a 5
Damn.
terabyte, so they are marketing as the hard drive to use for your PlayStation 4 games.
Just trying
That's
to think if I need a 5 terabyte hard drive just for shits and giggles.
I know, right? Speaking of PlayStation,
Hey, Walker, can you maybe drop me a link
Or a part
that?
number or something.
or literally anything?
why
Let
don't you
our
put it in the news
viewers
section
know.
of the put it in the news section of the Discord.
Because I'm
Got
looking
it.
up WD gaming drive PS4 and I see a 5 terabyte one for 119.96. So WD Black.
I will copy and paste the link right now and get that to you.
That 8
Put it in the-
terabyte won't work with the PS4 or Xbox One. Those things can only do 5 terabytes.
This isn't a bathtub. I mean, a beach.
This isn't a beach. It's a bath. Why is it showing me masks? Medical masks now. Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
I love you,
put
Amazon.
it in the news portion of the Level Unlock podcast Discord.
Good
The
godsend
article
right
says
here.
it's $100, but when I click on it, it says it's 110. Liars. So it might have been on for 110. Oh yeah, update. The drive is now up to $110, but it's currently still in stock due to the sale earlier. So it went up $10. But nevertheless, speaking of Sony, all games that are released for the PS5.
Huh.
All games
we
that
already
are
talked
released.
about that.
Oh, for the PS4.
Yeah, that have to be certified. We'll have to work with the PS5.
Oh, okay, my bad. That
I
was when
already
walked
talked
away.
about that while you were
Sorry, my bad. Couple other quick things. EA has inked a deal with the NFL to become its exclusive partner for its video game series, nixing the game that 2K was going to be coming out with. So
Hey, Walker.
Yeah.
By the way, make sure to. Yep, there you go.
Yep, I just did it.
Yeah.
So they have inked a multi-year exclusive deal that gives EA the exclusive license to produce NFL games. No other company will be allowed to produce NFL games. They can make football games, but it cannot be in association with the NFL. So because of that,
I hate that so much. That's
2K
bullshit.
was in the middle of making a game. Because you guys remember back years ago, they used to have, like, there was the rival, there was Madden, and then there was
The NFL 2K, the best 2K5 was the best sport or football game ever made.
So, and because of that, that game now has to be shelved, and they are no longer allowed to make it. This new contract runs until 2025. It's a 5-year exclusive deal that no other company is allowed to make NFL-branded video games. 2K can still make a football game, but it's not licensed, and
yeah,
it's
but what
not
are they gonna do?
behind
like
the NFL.
They're gonna do like the fucking CFL? Like who watches the CFL other than me?
They can just do a
They're not gonna.
like
They're not gonna do the XFL.
2K football, and they just have random ass names. I don't
No
know.
one's gonna play that.
Good
Yeah,
old,
they won't.
good old Bean Roethlisberger.
Yeah. So yeah, they are not allowed to use the likeliness of the NFL, unfortunately. So, couple Call of Duty things, and I am done. So, Call of Duty has confirmed that the next game will be a Black Ops, and it will be Black Ops Cold War. It was rumored last week and confirmed this week through leaks.
Nice.
Shit.
That will come out in October. Essentially, the game is a remake of the original Black Ops with add-ons to it, which will be different.
It's
Warzone
a
Duo,
reimagining.
yes. Warzone Duos is now coming to Warzone, where instead of playing quads or trios, you can now do duos. And last thing, you remember, I think it was last week or the week before, there was the world record for the most kills in a game at 121. Yes,
Yeah.
that has now
Broken?
been broken. The new
Jesus
record is
Christ.
138 kills in one game.
Shit.
Jeez,
So-
bro, it's madness.
Yes. So it took just over a week for someone to beat the
My
world record for
God.
the most kills in one game. So it is crazy that has happened, but yeah, 138 kills is now the record for the most kills in a game. The last thing that I have, so with EA, obviously E3 being canceled, and with James talking about the PlayStation presentation that is coming this week actually. So here's a quick list of all the events that are scheduled through the summer. So June 4th obviously is the
many.
PlayStation, the Future Gaming presentation. June 6th is the PC Game Show. June 9th is the Steam Summer Game Fest. The 11th is the EA Play. 23rd is the New Game Plus Expo. 27th and 28th is the Bit Summit Gaiden. And July 11th and July 12th is Ubisoft Forward. Obviously, there'll be more in the middle of that, and a lot more
Oh,
to
yeah.
come for that summer game festival. But that's just a little
So
deep
stay
dive.
tuned to the Level Unlock podcast.
Exactly.
We will be reporting on all of these. Well, at least all of them that have news.
Exactly. And let's dive in probably one of the more anticipated games of the year, the last PlayStation State of Play, The Last of Us Part 2.
Does anyone have any other news?
I
that
got
wanna
some
talk
quick
about?
things real quick.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Go
That.
for
Sorry,
it.
Mark.
Before we get into that,
I got one tiny thing as well.
go
Sorry
for
about
it. Well,
We got our first look at League of Legends Wild Rift. So it's
oh shit,
good,
nice.
good old Riot Games version of League of Legends coming to your mobile. You can get
Nice.
it. As of right now, I believe it's in regional alpha. It's coming to Android and iOS. It's good old pocket-sized version of League of Legends. What you've been waiting for. And Riot says that it's free of cheats and cheaters and lag-free, and it has a significantly smaller map and pared down for an alpha roster of characters, and a lot more coming in the future. So we'll see what happens. Good old Riot.
Yeah, but will it overtake Raid Shadow Legends? That's the name of the game.
Yeah,
in popularity.
I don't know about that one.
Are they going to give us thousands upon or tens of thousands of dollars to promote it, like Raid Shadow Legends does? I wish.
I'm not even sure what to say in response to that.
Hey, everyone knows Raid Shadow Legends is the best game ever because that's what my favorite YouTuber says at the beginning of every single one of his videos because they pay him like $20,000 for this ad spot. So that's all I'm saying. I don't see League of Legends doing that.
It's this cool online mobile game that you can play with all of your friends. You just
It's
have
got
to.
it's got console quality graphics and an intense story mode.
Just use code level unlocked whenever you're setting up your account for absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Click the link in the description to get absolutely nothing. To get taken to a broken page.
You get taken to a video of a dog licking your screen. You know,
That's what we
It's-
need right now. That's
Yeah,
what we
that's-
need right now.
that's what the world needs. All right, last news that I got. So there's some Discord malware going around. It's disguising itself as game applications or hacking tools, game cheats, copyrighted software, or some other thing that you shouldn't be downloading. Good way to
I saw
tell
this.
Go
Someone.
ahead.
Have you ever seen what is it? Some Ordinary Gamers on
I
YouTube.
haven't, no.
He does a lot of like virus investigations. He legit earlier today did a video on this,
Oh shit.
and he
But
actually downloads the actual virus and stuff. It's pretty cool.
it's pretty wild how it works. But if you're curious on if your Discord is compromised or not, an easy way to check is to just try and log into it through your typical client. If it logs in normally and you log in automatically, you don't have anything to worry about. If it's logged out, then I would Google it. See, there's a couple steps that you kind of have to do to fix it, but you could fix it, no problem there. And you might want to change your password. Doesn't
Mhm.
hurt.
Yeah.
But
So do you mind if
just
I
be
talk a little
aware.
bit about it
Yeah,
real
sure.
quick? So basically, what it does is that it downloads into the app roaming data of Discord, and it injects some code into it. So when you try to open up Discord, it immediately logs you out. It closes it out and logs you out. So then you try to reopen Discord, it has you relog in. Once you relog in, it logs that information, and then boom, you got an infected Discord, and then it can go in and send messages to all your friends on, hey, download this cool software. Get 500 free Robux for free if you click on this link. And then, it just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading.
Wow, look at these pictures of you. Sketchy link. Typical bot shit.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I am horny and bored. Come over. Would you like to see Cam?
That's all I
Or
got for
click.
news,
I'd click on that immediately.
Oh, what was it? I got one
I got
from
a firewall.
I think it was an email from Apple ID
Yeah,
the
you
other
did.
day that said some bullshit about review your or no, it was just a PDF. That's it. Nothing more. And I look at it, I'm like,
Nah.
I'm half tempted. I am if I had a virtual machine, I would totally open it up. It's kind of on a burner email anyway, so it doesn't matter.
What do you got, Shrodes? Also, too, did you want me to do the movie stuff? I have a few movie stuff before we get to The Last of Us, or do that afterwards?
The Last of Us might take us a little bit.
Okay, so
It's up
after
to you. It
Schroeder.
doesn't matter. I mean, I could go either pretty quick between it, but there's a few things that I want to kind of scream at.
Yeah, no, I can do the movies before you do it. Go ahead, Shrodes.
Okay, it's just a little tie into what I was talking about earlier with that Section 230 thing.
Yeah.
In the news, it's a big thing. Trump actually dropped a tweeter,
A twit?
Twitter post.
Tweeter.
Tweet. Good
Yes,
sir.
a tweet that suggests to repeal it. We don't want to repeal Section 230. I do recommend you guys looking into it as a community here, and if an opportunity comes to voice your opinion on the matter, especially if there's if any voting or anything like that gets involved, as if they care what we think anyways, we do not want to repeal it, nor honestly do we really want Trump playing with that.
True.
The
You don't
reason
want
being,
anyone playing with that.
we don't want anybody playing with it. We just want it would be really nice if the social medias were to just respect the platform of what they started as. They advertise themselves in the very beginning as a digital soapbox anybody can come and voice their stuff on, and in time that has felt like it has changed. So if you have the opportunity, look into it, make up your own mind on it. But again, we do not want to repeal it because that's what protects the social media platforms from liability. And if they repeal it, then everything's getting censored, like all of it, because they got to protect themselves. And then at the same time, if Trump goes and plays with it, which I understand why he feels the way he feels about it, and I understand why a lot of the that side of the aisle feels the way they feel about it. I understand why. However, if he plays with it, the only thing he's going to do is he's going to give more control to the government.
Mhm.
And in general, we want the government out of the internet for the most
We
part.
really do.
We don't want, yeah. So, on it, I think this is a pretty across the board thing for everybody, no matter where you sit politically and all of those things. Again, we don't want them to repeal it, and we also don't want them to play with it. We just,
Mhm.
it would be nice if the social media platforms, it feels, I mean, I know people that get banned pretty regularly, and for things that seem like, and then I know people that don't get banned for things that,
Yeah.
and it would just be nice if they were to kind of get their alignment a little bit better with it. But
I feel
that's
you
really
there.
all I'm going to say about it. It's a very important thing for especially the content creators out there to be aware of. Look it up. Again, it's Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. If you type it in followed by law, you can actually find a .gov that has the. I'll even put a link in our news section of the law itself, and then do with it as you will. But it's an important thing for, again, especially content creators, uh, to be aware of. But that's kind of all I wanted to add to that.
Oh. I got I got 4 movie things here really quick. So today Paramount has announced that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is being made. It is being written right now. And
Good.
it'll
Good.
have the same characters in it, which is awesome. I'm really liking Ben Schwartz. I sent a I don't know if you've seen it. I said, I think you would like this to our, it was a text. It was John Ralphio, Ben Schwartz, and the guy that plays his like doppelganger from Stranger Things. I don't know if you've seen that video. That was absolutely hilarious. I don't remember the guy, Gene something.
You sent it in a text?
Yeah, it was in our text group. It was a YouTube video where they, because both the Stranger Things and Parks and Recreation were filmed in cities right next to each other in Illinois. And so there is theories that the character from the Stranger Things is John Ralphio's dad. So
Okay.
and so the two characters, 'cause they look exactly the same, go to like, oh, we've never met before, and then they start answering questions synchronized. And at one point they sing a song, and they were like, we just sang the song in the same key. And then Ben Schwartz, John Ralphio, was like, Dad? He was like, son, and they walk off the set. It was pretty
Well, at
fucking
first I was
hilarious.
gonna say that's just a theory, but
Yeah.
I think they confirmed it, huh?
So, but it was pure gold. I'm liking myself some Ben Schwartz and John Ralphio from Parks and Recreation. He's the voice of Sonic. So, but yes, they have Paramount has confirmed that it is number 2 is being written, and it'll
Good.
be hopefully everything and more that we want, because at the end of Sonic 1, we had a little Tails preview.
We saw
Spoilers.
Tails.
Spoilers. It's been like 8 months, so you haven't seen him. Sorry, but yes, Tails does come out of the portal and says Sonic must be here, and Tails flies off. Remember a couple months ago we talked about Super Mario World and Universal? I posted the picture in my Discord under the captain's log. It is almost done. The park is almost done, and it almost looks fake. If you check out the picture in my Discord. Under the captain's log. But yeah, it is almost finished, and where it's literally a full scale Super Mario World. It's gonna be cool. Universal Studios. It's supposed to be opening this year. Due to everything, it may not be open this year, but it's almost done being built.
Wow.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That's crazy.
I'll post it on my screen here for those who aren't part of my Discord. I'll post it on my screen there. But that is the Super Mario World, being currently built in Universal Studios. There is actually live action blocks that you can punch, and they do different things. They interact different. There's interactive bracelets that you will actually get. So when you go up and you punch the block, your watch levels up, and it has different things. I'm waiting for the first lawsuit where someone goes up and just straight yeets it as hard as they can, and they break their hand because they punched it so hard.
It's gonna be made out of memory foam.
I think it probably will be, honestly, for the
Probably.
people that want to just be the a-holes and be like, I'm going to punch this as hard as I can, see if I can break it. It's probably going to be made out of some kind of foam with like a
Made out like Nerf.
Yeah.
and with some kind of like thing that makes it like boing. Yeah, you punch it, it's actually gonna make the ding noise that you make that Mario makes.
So when we going,
there's-
boys?
We got to find out when it's not gonna open for another couple months, and the park itself, I don't even know when that's gonna open.
Probably soon.
Good old Superman, Henry Cavill, is
Don't you mean Geralt of Riviera?
that too. It has been rumored that he has not been taken away from the role of Superman. That even though he hasn't done anything since Justice League, but he hasn't been the role hasn't been removed from him. It was confirmed today that he is in talks with DC to reprise his role as Superman in another Superman Man of Steel movie that will be separate from the Justice League.
Ow.
That comes on the heels of him being a part of Zack Snyder's conference when he told Zack Snyder to release the Snyder Cut, which is being released on HBO Go. Which, by the way, I forgot. I had to add. I started the free trial for that. There's a lot on there.
Is there?
Yeah,
Is
the
it
Big
HBO
Bang
Max or HBO Go?
HBO Max.
Okay.
So I looked up what the difference is between HBO Go, HBO Now, and HBO Max. So all three are still a thing. So HBO Go is if you pay for HBO with your cable company. So that allows you to watch, because you know how you download an app and it says log in with your cable username and email.
Mhm.
That's what that is. HBO Now is limited cable channels plus TV shows, while HBO Max combines all three together. There is no word on if they'll be getting rid of Now and Go, but if you have HBO Go, you get Max for free. So the two essentially will be combined together. There's over 10,000 hours of content. Big Bang Theory in its entirety is on HBO Max. Friends, every season of Friends, and there's a couple other big shows that are on HBO Max. That Ballers, things along those lines that you actually can watch in its entirety. So which is kind of cool. Big Bang Theory I don't quite get because that was on CBS. It's no longer on the CBS app. They removed it completely. So I'm assuming HBO bought the rights, unless they're the same company. I don't know. Speaking of the Snyder Cut, because of the launch of the Snyder Cuts being confirmed, there is a petition that 20,000 people have signed to release the extended cut of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. It is rumored that that movie in its entirety was originally 4.5 hours long, and then it was cut
Christ.
down. Yes, I guess
Four and
the
a half hours long?
Yeah, it was 4.5 hours long. The original cut of Star Wars: The Revenge of the Sith, which for those who don't remember, that came out like 2008. That was upcoming of Darth Vader, things along those lines. Yeah, 20,000 people signed the petition to have George Lucas release the extended cut of Revenge of the Sith. I highly doubt it will ever happen, but who knows? And that's all I got for movie news. Let's get into some Last of Us Part 2.
Sorry, I'm just signing up for my free trial to HBO Max.
There you go. 7 days free, baby.
Actually, no, 30 days because I'm a Crunchyroll subscriber.
Oh, you're a bitch.
They gave me 30 days free with Crunchyroll. Hell yeah, can't go wrong. Okay, Last of Us Part 2. The highly anticipated sequel to The Last of Us finally had a state of play. Talking about it
Yes, it
riding
did.
on the coattails of the Ghost of Tsushima state of play that we talked about last week, was it? Or 2 weeks ago?
That was last week.
Last week. So, the show starts off with just the latest trailer of the game. Nothing new. We find out that the game takes place several years after the first game. Starts off in Jackson, Wyoming. Joel and Ellie are in a camp with multiple survivors. Ellie is the ripe old age of 19, and she's on a revenge quest. Apparently, the game's going to sport multiple seasons: summer, winter, fall, spring, and it's going to use the latest iteration of the Naughty Dog engine. Most of the game is going to take place in Seattle, Washington, and they added some new movement mechanics. So things like you can jump at any time, and you can use ropes to swing across the environment, that kind of stuff. Horseback riding is also going to play an integral part because the areas are a lot bigger than the original game. You can also drive boats. We learn a little bit more about the main bad guys other than the zombies, the infected. We learn about the Washington Liberation Force, or the WLF, and the Seraphites, or Scars. The WLF is a militia group that fought against the army during the events at the beginning of the first game to basically give them their own independence, pretty much during all of this. The Seraphites are religious zealots. The WLF are more of a military-esque kind of organization. They're going to be walking around in groups. They have big old guns. They shoot, kill, bang. While the Scars are going to be more sneaky, more guerrilla-style warfare. A little bit more quiet. The infected are still a threat. The main infected, the runners, are going to be more numerous than in the first game and way more deadly. Clickers are still going to be there. Stalkers are a new kind of enemy. They're kind of sneaky. They sneak around a little bit in the shadows. Shamblers are large enemies that have basically, the boomers from Left 4 Dead. That's what the Shamblers are. They have large pustules on them that can cause damage to you, and they explode. The WLF, one of their weapons, along with guns, is they have guard dogs. And these guard dogs will pick up your scent as you're running around, so you're kind of not safe anywhere. These dogs will pick up your scent. New movement mechanic they're adding is going prone. You can hide in the brush like in Metal Gear Solid. I during the whole thing, I was kind of just singing the Snake Eater theme in my head because it just reminded me a lot of Snake Eater. Thing with that, though, is that the grass isn't tall enough to fully conceal you, so you're never fully hidden. If an enemy comes up near you, they're going to be able to see you. They're going to be alerted. They're going to try to kill you. They also talked about how you can break glass in buildings and crawl through tight spaces to try to get away. Still focusing heavily on the fight or flight kind of mentality of the game. Ammo's very limited. Is it a better option to take out these guys now or just run away to save your ammo? They are also adding dodge mechanics for melee attacks. You can also grab people and use them as human shields.
Heck yeah, man.
You have allies that can help you out, do some cool combos, like you can hit them with a bat, a bad guy with a bat, they can hit him back with a bat, and you can just juggle this enemy like crazy. And it looks like the AI is pretty good. They will generally kind of flank around the enemies that you're dealing with, try to take them out. One cool thing that they showed off is that you could pit the different factions against each other. So, for example, what they showed off was in a subway tunnel. The WLF was kind of walking around inspecting the area. You can pick up, say, like a brick or something and throw it near the WLF. And hey, that noise just alerted a bunch of the infected around them that was hiding in the shadows. So then the infected comes and starts fighting against the WLF. Then you have the choice of either, during all this hubbub, sneaking around to get out of the situation, or just hanging back, waiting for one side to win, and then picking off the stragglers. They're doing a lot more for when it comes to weapon and player customization, or, well, upgrades, I should say. Things like finding different magazines for guns to upgrade your ammo, scopes and that kind of stuff for guns, to give you better range, silencers, etc. They're really talking about supporting multiple playstyles, whether you want to go in, rush the enemy, take them out, or if you want to play a little bit more sneaky. Crafting is back to make things like upgrade melee weapons, adding nails to melee weapons, making improvised throwables, improvised silencers for weapons. Naughty Dog has said that this is going to be their largest and most ambitious game yet. And then they ended it off with never before seen gameplay. So it shows Ellie kind of swimming in a river, being sneaky, trying to infiltrate this place that's the WLF are hanging out in. You can they feature some more of like the underwater swimming segments. Hopefully, it's a lot better than the first game because it was absolute trash. The swimming. They showed off a character that Ellie just gets, who is playing a PlayStation Vita.
Really? That's
I
fucking
saw
funny.
the Vita and I popped off super hard. And then Ellie just stabbed the last surviving Vita player in the world.
What a bitch.
And then something that really kind of made me a lot upset is the person playing Ellie was running around just sneakily taking out enemies here and there, and climbs up a ladder, and down below him was a soldier with a little pupper, with a little guard dog. And all I can think of is, you better fucking not. You better not. And Ellie throws a Molotov cocktail at the pupper, and the pupper screams out in pain. And I was really sad at that moment. The enemy AI looked really great. I mean, it seemed like they were smarter, doing a lot more flanking. At this point, I'm still thinking about the pupper and how sad that was. And it ended with Ellie crawling through an air duct as someone was playing "It Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube. And I was like, sick.
I like it.
So Last of Us
Let's go
Part
and give
2.
it to you.
That's not even close to the same
Yeah,
song.
I know. I was. Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Just
Ignore me.
waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. Day seems kind of... I forget. What it is.
Close.
No barking from the dog. Mom, him, and Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
San Andreas was a good game. That's all that I have for news.
Hey.
Word. Let's get into some releases, shall we?
Let's
Releases
do
part
that.
2.
Hey,
See what I did there?
yeah, I did. I see what you did there.
Play on words.
So tomorrow, June 2nd, this is up until June 6th.
Exactly.
Hey, it's June already, guys.
That's crazy.
Thank God the year's almost halfway done. Thank
Wild that it is.
God. Thank God.
Wild, wild, wild.
All right, so June 2nd, we got Liberated coming out for the Switch and Valorant coming out for the PC.
Shit.
On
That
the
is.
on the 3rd, we got Awesome P2 coming out for the Xbox One, Depth of Extinction coming out for the Xbox One, Tour de France 2020 coming out for the Xbox One and PS4. That's on the 4th, sorry. On the 4th, we got Tour de France 2020. On the 4th, we also have Depth of Extinction coming out on the Switch. On the 5th, we got Out Buddies coming out for the Xbox One. The Outer Worlds coming out for the Switch on the 5th. Cyber Protocol coming out for PC and Xbox One. Strawberry Vinegar coming out for the Switch. Well, actually, we'll get back to that because I had to read the description of it. We were here together. Fuck, that was a hard thing to say. Coming out for the Xbox One on the 5th. Checo in the Castle of Lucio coming out for the Xbox One. Rigid Force Redo coming out for the Switch and Xbox One. Command & Conquer Remastered Collection coming out for the PC. I didn't even know that was in the works. the Switch game we were all waiting for, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics.
I see now. That's pretty cool.
That's coming out. And then also Strawberry Vinegar coming out for the Linux, Mac, PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Let me just read the description for this real quick, because it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Which game?
Strawberry Vinegar.
Do it.
Sakuraba Rei, age 9, is a cynical and grumpy girl who cares little for her fellow classmates and does not have a single friend. That is, until a self-proclaimed demon from the deepest, darkest pits of hell suddenly appear in Rei's kitchen and steals a tray of cookies. What will happen between these two young girls? Will a friendship blossom between them? Or perhaps something more?
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
She's 9 years old.
Fucking A.
I don't like that. I feel uncomfortable. That is releases.
Movies and TV shows. If you want the classics on Blu-ray, you got Jaws, and Ghostbusters 2 coming out on
Hell
Blu-ray
yeah.
on the 2nd.
Hell yeah.
What else you got? You got Creep Show. That's coming out. That's kind of
Sure.
nice. Watchmen Season 1 is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD on the 2nd. What else we have? We have a book, which is weird. Ghostbusters
book?
inside the story. I didn't even know they had books on here, so that's kind of cool.
I didn't even know they made books still.
Me neither. What else we got here? We got Fuller House Season 5 Part 2 coming out on Netflix. That's a thing still. We also have 13 Reasons Why Season 4. If you ever watch that show, it's a show. It's really good. I like it.
It's definitely a show.
It's got Explore, if you're not familiar, it's basically suicide and stuff like that is what it explores. On the 5th, you got Queer Eye Season 5.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. And that is essentially it. Next Monday, though, you got Gordon Ramsay's Uncharted Season 2 premiering
Nice.
on the
love
National
Gordon Ramsay.
Geographics. Basically, he embarks and explores on extravagant adventures, exploring the world, culture, different world cultures through food.
So he's like Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, pretty much. He doesn't
Aw.
critique it or anything like that. He
Rest
basically
in
just
peace, my guy.
goes to the different ends of the world and tries their food.
Well,
But past
it's probably a pretty low stress time or low stress thing
Probably.
to do.
but that's
You fucking donkey! Why did you make this wrong? Sir, this is how but chef, this is how my culture has made it for centuries.
but past that, I got nothing else. Let's go around the room. Where can we find us? Where can we be? And where can we meet up? Mark, start with you, man. Start again.
You can watch me make mediocre content on YouTube and Twitch at MarkDude701. Who knows what I'll end up be doing? Either Deep Rock Galactic, I want to stream some Skate or some Half-Life, who knows? But that's where you'll find it. It's on YouTube and Twitch at MarkDude701. How about you, Jeff? Or James? I don't. You see, it looks like I caught you in the middle of your act. You're filling up your e-juice, and you're like, holy shit! I guess I gotta talk.
Yeah. Well, I'm on Splash Screen, twitch.tv/Splash Screen Gaming, Facebook and and on YouTube as Splash Screen Gaming. Facebook and Instagram as Team Splash Screen, and Twitter as Splash Screen G. I don't really use them all as much as I should, so it seems like the Facebook page is probably the best place to get a hold of me if you need to. But I have a couple games that I haven't been gaming that much lately, and I'm kind of looking at getting back to some of the roots. So I found a few indie games and a few classics that I think would be cool to stream. But we'll work that one out. How about you,
Nice.
James? What are you up to, buddy?
Well, you can find me not playing Final Fantasy VII Remake anymore because I beat it at twitch.tv/People8Studios. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. Definitely RE3 Make. I just need something to hold me over until The Last of Us Part 2 comes out, really. Thinking maybe Doom Eternal. I need to think of a schedule, too, for this week. But you can find me playing that. You can also check out my video on demands at youtube.com/People8Studios. I also do, well, I haven't in a while because of Dave. Other Let's Plays on that channel, like Final Fantasy VII Classic and Yakuza 0. Who knows if that will be coming out anytime soon. Who knows? And then you can follow me on Twitter at People810. Walker, what's up with you?
Myself, as always, Captain Geach 15, not Captain Gooch, not Captain Jeebs, Captain Geach 15,
Captain Jeebs.
Captain
Captain
Jeebs,
Jeeves in the building.
Captain Geach 15 on everything. Playing off screen, maybe screening. I don't know. Final Fantasy VII, Apex. I'll say I stream, but I don't know if I actually will. I need to. I'm on the computer every night. We all are. It's just a matter of hitting that button, man. It really is. Past that, don't really have much going on. Got some interesting text message here a second ago. Talk about that here in a second. But before I do, make sure you follow us on all the platforms before the name ultimately changes, which hopefully it won't based on my text messages. The Level Unlock Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Email us, levelunlockpodcast@gmail.com. And as always, follow us on Twitter. At what, James?
LVL Unlocked Pod. That's LVL Unlocked Pod.
Beauteous. And as always, if you want to become a Patreon for the Level Unlock Podcast, you can at patreon.com/Level Unlock Podcast. And to end the podcast, once again, couldn't really let you guys know because it was more of a in the spur of the moment thing. But I think I bought us back, boys. I made a Bob Dooley O'Malley an offer he can't refuse. And so I think he's going to accept it. I'm waiting for a response, but everything seems to be going good. We have one episode of the Level Unlock Bobcast, which I'm going to miss it. But I think next
Are
week...
we, though? Are we going to miss it, though?
I don't know, probably not. But I think next week we might be back to our old-fashioned name, man. We'll find out. Stay tuned. Be here next week to see what happens. As always, thank you guys. We'll see you here next week for a Level Unlocked Bobcast, maybe podcast. We'll find out. Have a good night, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.